Now we've wrapped up taking a look at the entire Synth tab here. So let's move on and check out the Effects tab. So you get two main effects buses, and you also get an aux effect bus. And within each bus, you have three effect slots. And within each effect slot, you get all these different effects. Now I'm not going to show you each and every effect and show you each and every parameter. That will be a lot to go over. But I'm just going to show you how to set this up. And what's really great is that for each of these different effects, you also get presets. So this is a great way to just get into some of these effects by loading in some presets and hearing what it would sound like. Alright, now before we check out the signal flow in here, let's go back to the Synth tab and let's talk about this feature over here, the filter routing mode. So right now in this scenario, both the filters are being summed together and they're going into both the effects buses. And back in the effects tab, we can see here there's a level for bus A, so signal going into bus A, and here we have level for signal going into bus B. There is a routing option. So currently it's set to A going into B. So the signal first goes into effects bus A, and then that process signal goes into effects bus B. So let's have a listen to this. Let's change up the sound here. I'm going to load in the sample engine, and we'll work with this grand piano. Let's make sure that it goes to both filters, so F1 and F2 both. So I'll set this in the middle here. And I'll turn on filter 2, and let's change this filter to a high-pass filter. Let's set the cutoff in the middle here. Set this cutoff a bit lower as well. All right, so now both these filters are going to get combined because we've chosen this here, and they're going to be available on effects bus A as well as B. Though over here what's happening is that we're only sending the signal to effects bus A, and then the signal goes into B. If I bring down the level for bus B, you notice that we don't get any signal. If I bring down the level for bus A, again we don't get any signal. So in this routing, it is imperative that the level is up for both the effects buses. So currently we're going through effects bus A first. So we're using the tape echo reverb. We could add another effect slot there. And then it goes to effects bus B, which actually has nothing here. So let's go ahead and add in some more effects. Maybe the Juno 6 chorus. And maybe some distortion. Now we have other options for insert routing here. So instead of the signal going to A first and then B, we can make the signal go to effects bus B first and then A. And you notice how it says effects B here. Not that different in this particular scenario, because end of the day, the signal goes through all of the different effects one after the other. Now here's where things get a bit more interesting. In this mode, the two effects buses are running in parallel. So if I bring down bus B, we just hear bus A. So whatever's happening over here, the echo and reverb. And if I bring this down and bring up bus B, we just hear whatever's happening over here. So as you can see, there's a lot of flexibility when it comes to effects routing in Pigments. And not to forget, we also have this aux section. So in the main synth tab, if you remember, I've used this a lot. So I can send the signal from this entire patch over to the aux track here. And here we can see reverb has been loaded in. You can control that from here as well, the send. So the level of the signal going into this aux track. And there's also a return level. So very important to keep in mind how the signal is being routed into the effects. So again, right now, both the filters have been combined and they're both going into the two buses, but we can also split it up. And let's do this. I'm going to set this to F1. So engine 1 only goes to filter 1, and let's turn on engine 2. Let's change it to, let's say, analog. And make sure that this only goes to filter 2. So now filter 1 is going to effects A and filter 2 is going to effects B. We could also send filter 1 to effects B and filter 2 to effects A, but let's leave it in this mode here. Now back in the effects tab, we're just hearing bus B. Let's get rid of the aux for now. So now no sound at all. This is the analog engine with its processing, and this is the sample engine with its processing. And this is both with the aux. Alright, so hopefully that makes sense. So this is the entire effects tab in Pigments. In the next tutorial, we'll check out the sequencer tab, but specifically the arpeggiator.